So today we are joined by the UFC lightweight fighter and a friend of the house, Khama, the Deathstar worthy, who's giving us some minutes of his time to chat. So Khama, thank you very much and welcome again to Somos MMA.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Well, first of all, Khama, congratulations for the win on your last fight against Luis Peña. It was an awesome performance and a great submission. And I have a question. What was on your mind during that second round when Peña was looking for the chokes and all that? How do you deal with a guy like that on your back?
I was just looking for openings, just trying to figure out where the openings were and stuff, making sure I didn't panic. That's what he was trying to get. Like he was so freaking long. I've had a couple people on my back that are taller, but no one that quite has his leg length. So it was a little bit weird, but once I found the holes and like where he was weak at on the back position, I was able to I felt more comfortable there.
And well, anyway, it was a great win. And I saw after the fight, I saw a picture of you two on your Instagram. So it was everything cool after the fight.
Yeah, man, he was super respectful, like super cool dude. Like he's a young black dude trying to make money like me. So I got nothing personal against him. Like I said, I wish him the best and everything. Like it's the sport. I don't dislike anyone.
And yeah, go ahead, second.
And now you're facing Azaitar, who is he's a very different type of fighter, you know, because Luis Peña is more of a grappler. He goes for the submission. And your next opponent, he is more like a striker, you know, he goes for the knockout. So what adjustments are you doing for this fight? Like for what things you change for your game plan to your next fight on September the 5th?
None really, because I'm not afraid to strike with anyone. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to hit Azaitar 4 or 5 times and he's going to be trying to wrestle me. I know it. Like Luis Peña said, he wanted to stand in the middle and punch too, but you think that until you're in there, you start getting hit. And I'm just a very unique style of fighter. Azaitar has a lot of heat. He throws a lot of power. He has a lot of really good Moroccan kickboxing, but he's really basic. It's very basic and fundamental. His timing isn't off. My timing is completely off rhythm. My timing's broken. I can speed it up, drop it back, shift the gears. Like within 3 minutes of a fight, I can go from gear 1 to gear 6 and make holes where they aren't holes. He pushes punches. I'm going to make him push punches, and he's going to get frustrated. He's going to start swinging. I'm going to keep tagging him. I don't really have to hit hard. I just have to keep hitting him, and then he's going to be trying to wrestle me. I promise you, he's going to wrestle me. Once he starts getting hit, he's going to try to start wrestling me.
So you feel more comfortable with this matchup?
Yeah. I mean, like, the grapplers are the hard matchup. The more, don't get me wrong, Azaitar is more dangerous, right? He's a more dangerous fighter because he has knockout power and he knocks people out, so he's more dangerous. But he doesn't possess more of a threat. Luis Peña was more of a threat because he had striking. He can knock me out, standing out, or he can get me down, take my back. He had multiple different ways of getting to me. Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure Azaitar can wrestle and stuff, but that's not his forte. His forte is striking. So once I take him out of his comfortable zone, then everything he does will be out of desperation. I mean, Luis Peña was kind of the same way. He thought he wanted to strike, and then once he realized he didn't want to strike, then he started shooting desperately. So I knew that's where he wanted to get, and it made him run into a submission the same way. So, I mean, like, once you realize you can't strike with me, all your corner's going to start screaming for his takedowns. Like, I'm just waiting for it. Like, me and my corner, we know that. We already done that. Like, if you watch my fights throughout my career, that's how I built my career. I know once they get in, they start to exchange, they're going to be forced to do stuff they don't want to do.
And Khama, well, you two, Azaitar and you, were supposed to fight on April the 18th, I think. But well, the card after got canceled and due to the pandemic and all that. Since then, you have fought and won against Peña, but on the other side, he hasn't fought since last September, I think. Do you think his time outside the octagon is something that you could take advantage of?
No, because I don't know what he could have been street fighting for all the fuck I know. I don't want to say, oh, he ain't been doing shit. I don't know what he's been doing. I think in my brain he's been training like a psychopath for the past year now, and he's 10 times the fighter he was before. He's going to have new tricks and stuff like I'm expecting him to try different stuff. Like I'm expecting him to be a different fighter, a more complete fighter. I always expect my opponent to be better because I know I'm getting better. All I do is get better. I'm just getting better and better and better. So I expect the same out of them. It's always better to expect them to be good and then they're trash than to expect them to be trash then they've gotten good. You're like, oh shit. Like, so I expect him to come in heavy and ready for action.
How is the training camp going on? Because I could see some videos on your Instagram of you training at the Mat Factory, I think, and also at the World Kickboxing Academy. Have you been cross-training there?
Yeah, I've been going around getting some good kickboxing in. I've been going like I said, I had some pro boxers in today. Azaitar's boxing good, so I've been working with a lot of pro boxers, a lot of pro kickboxers, and I've been doing a lot of wrestling work at the Mat Factory too. So I've been getting all around. I've been working with my regular teammate, my teammate John DeSouza. He just fought for Bellator last week. He won, so I was kind of helping him a little bit get ready for that. So we've been busy at my gym, and a lot of guys. Dom Mazzata, he fights in Bellator a week after my fight. He fights Kevin Lee's brother, so I've been working with him. And then I have a couple other guys. The guy is getting ready for a bare knuckle fight. I've been working with him and stuff for my pure box and stuff. So I've been getting a lot of really good training in. And
are there any new tricks under your sleeve? Are we going to see anything new?
Always, guy. I'm getting deeper and deeper into the magic bag to see the stuff that I can pull out and different stuff. Like I've literally watched every UFC. I've watched fights for the past 3 months now. Every time there's a fight on, I've been watching. So I steal people's shit. So I see if something works with someone. I see if someone gets to work someone at the style that I think my opponent has. I steal that. So like Frankie Edgar did some really cool stuff this past weekend. I was watching Calvin Kattar when he fought Jeremy Stevens. Like I'm watching people that fight like my opponent and see stuff they were doing stuff. So yeah, I've been stealing some stuff. So it's been interesting.
So you came back after almost a year, and your debut was special because you were like a 4 days notice for the fight, and you got a very impressive finish, and then you came back against Luis Peña and got another one. So that's something that you think like, oh, I'm going to try to get a very cool finish so people can notice me, or is something that just go with the flow and it just came naturally and that's it?
Yeah, I don't really like I only have I think like 2 or 3 first round finishes in my career. I don't really get a lot of first round finishes. Most of my finishes come second or third round. I have a lot of third round, like late third round finishes. So yeah, I mean, like I don't really push fights. I let them come. And like I said, I don't like to overthink. I don't like to do anything because I like to live right in the moment. Like my coach is always screwing at me. He's always telling me, he's like, just 18 minutes of pure mental focus for that moment. It might not last that long. It might last 10 seconds, but I'm ready for the whole round. So I don't really go out and try to anticipate too much because it never works out that way. Never does.
No, because in this, maybe you probably know about this, because with the Contender Series, the debate that is coming out mostly on the internet is that it doesn't matter if you win, but how. People go to the Contender Series and say like, okay, I need a finish for getting an UFC contract, or a lot of fighters say, oh, I need a finish so I can get better fights or a better paycheck. So what do you think about that?
I don't think Dana looks for finishes, but he looks for people to try to finish. I'm always trying to finish the fight. I may not get it, but I'm never like Dana White. Like you'll never watch a fight with me where I coast, where I try to slow the pace down, or I just try to I try not to lose. A lot of guys fight trying not to lose. I never try. I'm always trying to win. My opponent may be making so I don't win, but I'm always trying to win. And I think that's what Dana White looks for in the Contender Series. Like you don't want to see a guy just take a guy down, just hold him down, or a guy he's just trying to not lose. Usually strikers don't really. If you have 2 guys that are striking, it's going to be a fun fight. But it's usually the grapplers are usually the people that are trying to slow the fight down and make it so. I'm like, look, that guy Cross, he just didn't get picked up by the UFC. Like his fight, I think that last Contender Series or whatever, the cross or whatever, big guys, lightweight. But like he came out heavy, and then the rest of the fight, he just tried not to get knocked out. Like he was just trying not to get hit. And like you can tell, you're like, oh, he's tired. He's trying not to get hit. He wasn't trying to win the fight. He was just it's like when you're arm wrestling with someone and you're trying, and then that other person just stops and just holds it. They're not trying to win. They're just trying not to have you win. And it Dana White doesn't want that. Like he doesn't like that. So I can understand that. He doesn't say he needs knockouts. He just needs people to go out there and just try to win.
And Khama, how do you feel with being the underdog? Because on your last two fights, you were the underdog and you won both of them, and they were like upset. So is something that you pay attention, that the I don't know, the odds and all that, or is just you don't mind?
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to that. Like people be back me and shit. I'm like, that's cool, but hey, I don't like that. Who makes? Like people keep asking me. So I'm like, who makes these odds? Who are the guys? Like they're just some analysts, like sitting there calculating numbers and stuff in their mom's basement and figure out this is. I'm like, nah, you know the fuck you're talking about. Like you don't know. I don't like MMA's too much of it's too much of an unpredictable sport. Like you don't know what that person's camp went in. You don't know who that person brought in new to train with to prepare for this person. You don't know how that person adjusts to this type of person. Like nothing's known. It's too hard. And it's too hard not to know, especially when you're dealing with newer people. Because you don't even know, you haven't really seen a lot of their fights. Like, you know what I mean? Like guys were like watching my fights and they're talking about me losing and all this. And like all of my last 4 losses were all at lightweight. We were all at featherweight. I was trying to make weight. I couldn't make weight anymore. It was cutting. It was wearing on my body. As soon as I went up to lightweight, it completely changed. Like I've completely changed how I fight. I completely changed how I deal with fights, how I adjust to fighting. All of this, I've got a new coach here, a new coach there. Start doing this, switch out this, took over gym, started training different. And they don't know that. All this is like, oh, he's there, he lost there. All right, this guy's gonna win. And you're just like, you guys, like, you don't, or they know, oh, this guy's training at a big gym, so he has to be trained good. It's like, okay, so who does he like? They were talking about Pena with me. I'm like, so who does Pena have that moves like me? There's no one down on American Top Team that moves like me. There's no one down there that has the type of twitch reflex that I have. He was probably training with Dustin Poirier for his fight because Poirier had a long, lanky guy for his fight. So his fight with Poirier, me and Poirier don't move the same. We move completely different. We have completely different game plans. So when we got in there and I started to change the patterns of the fight, he had no idea what to do because he wasn't working with someone that had my style of fighting. Like styles make fights, and for training as well, specific training. So it's not just like, oh, I train at a big gym. It's like, okay, so have you seen anyone that look like this? Like it goes really going to play with like my man John for his fight last week. That guy was 16-1. He had fought overseas and stuff. He had fought all these guys, but he had never ever trained or fought with someone that moved like John. And you could tell from the beginning of the fight, you could tell that he was like, oh fuck, this guy's moving. It's just different. It's different to the style that he's used to seeing. It's different to how people respond to him. And we knew it. John, he's underdog just because of the record. People are like, oh, it's record. He's much better. I'm sitting like, he's going to fucking work this guy. This guy has no idea the type of twitch reflex that's coming at him. I knew it. My coach knew it. Like everybody else, we all knew it. The guy didn't know. You can tell that John knew because as soon as he started to get on, he knew exactly how far ahead he was from the guy. So again, it's not, MMA is not a game of numbers and stuff. It's a thinker's game. It's all about preparation and organizing things. And that's the thing that I think I have above a lot of people. I've seen, like, I haven't really fought anyone that does anything that I haven't seen. And I tell you right now, I'm going to do shit that you just, like, the timing is just wrong. It's just off. Like, it's completely fucking, like, I spar with pro boxers and they tell me the timing's wrong. It's just not, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Now, if you watch me fight, like Dominic Cruz said, because it's really irky-jerky and people expect me to get tired. I don't get tired. That's how I fight. It's like a glitch in a computer. It's constantly on a page. It's over, and it's wrong. It's not right, and it makes you feel uncomfortable. And your heart rate starts to go up higher. Next thing you know, I'm still hitting you. I'm not really blasting you with power shots, but I'm hitting you. And then I see it open, I blast through it, and that's irritating. And if you can't deal with that, you're going to shoot. Yeah. And like I'll grapple with you, and then I'm going to figure out that you want to wrestle. Now I know you can't deal with the punches. Now find my hole, and that's my entire game plan to the T.
And do you know that talking about how unpredictable this sport is, do you know that Shanna Dobson beating Maria Agapova in the bets was the biggest upset in the UFC history, over Holly Holm beating Ronda Rousey? Shanna Dobson was 1 win and 3 losses in his last four, and Maria Agapova came like a superstar with all the spotlight on her, and Dobson beat the crap out of her.
Trains. That's a hype train. Like that chick was awesome, but she keeps such a high pace in her fights. She's a front runner, and if she gets behind, she doesn't know how to. No one even knows what happens when she gets behind. No one's seen her get behind. So it's like can't under like the mindset. Like Shauna has fought in UFC multiple times. She fights in a good camp. She has good coaches. They have good thinking process. She's a banger. She's not scared to get hit. So I mean, she can get hit and keep moving. And the other chick got tired. Like she had an adrenaline dump, and not because she like overtrained or anything. It's just because she got put into a place she'd never been before, and she broke. That happened. I mean, that happens so much. I mean, that happens all the time. That's what happened around Rousey. She got put into a position she's never been before. She broke. She broke twice, and she never came back and fought. Like it's what happens a lot in fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can see a lot of hype in different fighters, right? Yeah, I mean, in the game.
Say that again.
I mean, we can see a lot of hype in different fighters. That I am not saying that they are not good, but they have a lot of hype. I mean, for example, Sean O'Malley, he has a lot of hype, and well, we saw what happened with him.
Worse was Derek, the guy that Derek Brunson just fought. Brunson fucking chest. And he was just like, Jesus Christ, like, give me a... And Brunson's phenomenal, but he's not anything over the top. But Brunson's fundamentals were good. He fixed a couple of things. He adjusted. Then he stayed in that motherfucker's chest. And once he wasn't the front runner, he broke. And like that happens to so many guys that they put up and like, I mean, what's that other young kid with the doofy hair? They say he looked like Ben Askren's son. And then he fought.
Chase Hooper.
Yeah, like, and they put him in there against Bruce Leroy. I was like, what are you doing? Like, that kid has no space being there. Like, that guy's fought in the UFC like 20 times. He's fought guys like Uriah Faber, all kind of people. And they put Hooper in there, hyping him up, and then he gets in there, and you're just sitting there like, oh, fuck, he shouldn't be here. I hate the word prospect. I hate that fucking word. I think the UFC, it's the most overused prospect. I'm like, what do you mean? He hasn't lost yet. I don't think he's lost yet. Come back. Michael, like, I like people like Michael Bisping or Overeem. Those are the bad motherfuckers. The guys that lose and come back, scrape themselves off the floor and come back. Like, these young guys, young guys and girls, they don't even, I mean, like, they know how to, it sucks because social media makes it something that it's not. Like, people are hyping you up, amp you up and stuff. And I'm like, yo, like, this shit is violent. And like, if you're a front runner in MMA, it's not good because you're gonna get to a motherfucker who's gonna be in your chest. And it's gonna make it very uncomfortable.
Yeah, sure. Khama, talking about the fight, your fight. This is going to be your second fight during the pandemic. Did you get used to all these new procedures and things that the UFC is using now, or you still getting comfortable with that?
I'm pretty much used to it. They sent us a coronavirus test today. I had to do it on myself before we fly out there. Do a pre-test, then we get out there. We do 2 more tests. I mean, it kind of sucks. Like, I worked a long time to get to the UFC, so I really like there to be fans and like meet the celebrities and shit. I want to meet Halle Berry. Shit, that'd be fun. But you know, I'm able to take care of my family and stuff, so I'm used to it now.
And is there anything that you miss about the fights before the pandemic? Maybe the crowd?
Yeah, I mean, I love the crowd. I love playing to the crowd. I love the energy coming off with people and stuff. I mean, I love, like I said, I've only experienced it once, but like going to the backstage and like meeting other fighters. Like, I got to meet I'm a big Max Holloway fan. I got to meet him and stuff. Like, Terrence Crawford was at my fight. I got to meet Terrence Crawford. Like, it was just cool. So I mean, I really hope we can like get back to that, because that was a lot of fun.
And this is my last question for you. So you are a coach, right? So
yes.
When you are going to a fight, like, how is to do you separate your the Khama fighter and the Khama coach, or they both coexist in the fight, and how it is?
Yeah, like right now, like when I start getting ready for fights, like the last 3 to 4 weeks, I get super selfish. Like that's why I wasn't at John's fight, my man John's fight, because I'm getting ready for my own fight. Like I'm like he understood it. He's like, yeah, dude, you got your own shit to care about. You know, we have coaches that we work with, but like I normally like corner him and stuff, like because we work together a lot. But like I still coach. Like I coach today. I teach a kids class, and the kids know. Like when coach is like 2 weeks out from a fight, he's an asshole. Like I'm on you, I make you like everyone knows. Like I'm going to be teaching kickboxing tomorrow, and everyone knows it's going to be hard, realistic class. It's going to be fight preparation type class. Like when I'm in fight camp, everyone's in fight camp, and everyone's peaking and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different. Like and but I have a good way to separate myself, and I have other coaches that help me. They take over the task and stuff, so allow me to like get a little bit of breathing room and stuff, and kind of because you got to be a little bit selfish when you're doing this.
Khama, my final question. The last time we talked, your hair was just like now, and on your fight you had the mohawk. I mean, yes. Do you like the mohawk for the fights? Is anything about that? Is anything related to the mohawk? And
it's a transformation. Like this is just chill me. Like I'm just kicking it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to barber or nothing. But when I put the mohawk on, it's because I'm a different person when I fight. Like I'm a very humanitarian type person in the real world. I'll give you the coat off my back and stuff. Like I've never been in a street fight my entire life. Like I don't like to fight. So in order for me to get ready for a fight, I have to like hit a switch, and the mohawk is like something I do that like help me get there, like help me get to that kind of like he's like Khama's evil twin. Like that's not the regular dude that goes in there.
Okay, Khama. As always, man, it's a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you very much for your time. We hope you the best for what's coming. We hope you get the win and you get the bonus. And well, all the best for you, man.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me on, fellas.
Gracias por visitar Somos MMA en YouTube. No olvides suscribirte a nuestro canal y activar las notificaciones para seguir disfrutando de nuestro contenido.